that do not matter, opinions that carry no weight, and problems that are not theirs to solve. This is why they feel drained, even when they have not physically worked hard, because their energy has been scattered in directions that lead nowhere. Distractions are clever thieves. They rarely announce themselves as harmful. They come disguised as harmless scrolling, endless chatter, or small indulgences in gossip, but each time you engage in them, you are making a silent trade, exchanging the power to build your own life for the fleeting satisfaction of knowing what others are doing. If you truly wish to grow, you must guard your energy as you would guard a precious treasure, because that is exactly what it is. Negativity, too, is a subtle poison. It seeps in through the people you allow close, the content you consume, and the thoughts you entertain. The human mind is like a garden. Whatever you water will grow. If you give your attention to fears, complaints, and pessimistic voices, those seeds will take root and soon overrun everything else. Protecting your energy means being deliberate about who and what you allow to occupy your mental space, which means having the courage to say no to situations, people, and conversations that do not serve your higher purpose. Investing your energy in growth is not always about doing more. Often, it is about doing less of what does not matter. When you remove the unnecessary, you create space for the essential. Every moment you spend on your craft, your health, your relationships, or your peace of mind is a moment invested in the life you truly want to live. Over time, these investments compound, creating a strength and clarity that distractions can never steal from you. To start. Your energy is the foundation upon which your future is built. Spend it with intention, guard it with discipline, and you will find that when you stop feeding distractions and negativity, you gain not just more time, but a deeper sense of control over your own destiny. Number 2, measure your progress, not theirs. One of the greatest traps you can fall into is the habit of constantly measuring yourself against others. The moment you do this, you abandon your own path and step onto someone else's. It might seem harmless at first. You look at where they are, what they have achieved, and how quickly they seem to be moving. But over time, this comparison becomes a thief of joy, clarity, and focus. You begin to judge your worth not by the seeds you have planted, but by the fruits they are harvesting. The truth is, every journey has its own rhythm. Some people may bloom early, others later. Some may appear to move faster because their path is smoother, while yours may be steep and challenging. But difficulty does not mean failure. It often means you are being prepared for a strength that others will never need to develop. Measuring your progress by someone else's timeline is like judging a sunrise by how quickly the moon disappears. Both have their own place, and neither exists to compete with the other. Your progress is personal. Even the smallest step forward can hold immense meaning if it brings you closer to who you want to become. Too often people dismiss their growth simply because it doesn't look impressive when compared to someone else's achievements. But progress is not always visible to the outside world. It can be in the habits you've broken, the thoughts you've shifted, the patience you've cultivated. These invisible victories are often the most powerful because they shape the person who will one day achieve the visible ones. When you measure yourself only against your past self, you stay rooted in authenticity. You know where you started, you see where you are now, and you can track the real changes that matter. This keeps you grounded and removes the anxiety of falling behind, because in truth, you are not in a race. The only competition worth engaging in is the one with yesterday's version of yourself. Every step, no matter how small, is progress when it moves you forward. Respect your own timing, trust the pace of your journey, and remember, the goal is not to be better than someone else, but to become better than you were yesterday. That is the only measure that will ever lead to true fulfillment. Number 3, turn comparison into inspiration. Comparison is not always the enemy. It is how you use it that decides whether it will break you or build you. When you look at someone who is ahead of you, you have two choices: to feel defeated because you are not where they are, or to feel inspired because their success shows what is possible. The first choice drains your energy. The second choice fuels it. The difference lies in your mindset. So when you see someone doing well, instead of asking why them and not me, ask what can I learn from them. This single shift transforms comparison from a source of envy into a source of motivation. Their results can become a living reminder that your goals are within reach. You are not seeing an untouchable reality. You are seeing the outcome of dedication, persistence, and choices. And if they can make those choices, so can you. There is no shame in being inspired by someone else's success. In fact, it is a sign of humility and wisdom to learn from others instead of closing your heart with jealousy. Think of it as walking a path in the mountains. When you see someone already standing at the peak, you don't curse them for arriving first. You look at the route they took and use it to guide your own climb. Their journey can reveal shortcuts, hidden dangers, and better ways to move forward. However, turning comparison into inspiration requires inner strength. You must be confident enough to admire without feeling smaller, to observe without resenting, and to learn without copying blindly. Inspiration should never turn into imitation. What works for them may not work exactly the same way for you. The point is not to become them. The point is to awaken the same level of commitment within yourself. When you reframe comparison in this way, every encounter with someone more advanced becomes an opportunity, not a threat. You start collecting tools, ideas, and perspectives that you can adapt to your own journey. This makes the presence of successful people around you a blessing, not a burden. Remember this: envy looks at someone and says, I wish I had what they have. Inspiration looks at someone and says, I will build my own starting today. Choose the second. Let their light remind you of the fire you carry within. Then, focus on making it burn brighter. Number 4, build your inner world. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. What you carry inside your mind and heart shapes how you see everything around you, the decisions you make, and the energy you bring into every moment. Building your inner world means cultivating strength, wisdom, and peace within yourself first before expecting it from the outside. Without this foundation, external success will feel hollow and external challenges will shake you to your core. Imagine your mind as a sanctuary. If it is cluttered with fear, doubt, and negativity, no matter how beautiful your surroundings, you will never feel truly safe or fulfilled. But when you nurture your inner world with positive beliefs, self-love, and clarity, you create a place where you can always return to recharge, refocus, and grow. This inner sanctuary becomes your greatest resource, one that no circumstance or person can take away from you. Building your inner world is not about escaping reality or ignoring problems. It is about developing the mental and emotional muscles to face life's challenges without losing yourself. When you cultivate patience, resilience, and compassion internally, you gain the power to respond instead of react. You stop being tossed around by the opinions of others or the chaos of the outside world. Instead, you stand firm, grounded in who you are and what you believe. This process requires daily practice. Like training a muscle, it takes effort and consistency. Meditation, reflection, reading, and setting healthy boundaries all help you clear mental clutter and plant seeds of wisdom. Surrounding yourself with uplifting influences, whether people, books, or ideas, also nourishes this inner world. The more you invest here, the more your outer life will reflect peace, focus, and strength. Remember, the greatest relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. When you build your inner world first, you no longer seek validation outside, because you have learned to validate your own worth. You no longer depend on external approval, because your confidence comes from within. This makes you unshakable. In a noisy, distracted world, this inner world is your refuge and your power source. Protect it, nourish it, build it daily. Because when your inner world is strong, you can face anything, achieve anything, and shine your true light without fear. Number 5, mind your own garden. Life is like a garden, and your time, energy, and attention are the seeds you plant. If you constantly look over the fence at your neighbor's garden, comparing who has taller flowers or greener grass, you neglect the soil beneath your own feet. The truth is, real growth happens when you focus on tending your own plot with care, patience, and consistency. When you mind your own garden, you become intentional about what you nurture. Every thought you entertain, every habit you build, and every goal you pursue is a seed planted in your life. Some seeds grow quickly, others take time, but all need water, sunlight, and protection to flourish. If you waste time obsessing over others, you steal water from your own roots. Instead, turn your focus inward and ask, what am I cultivating? What kind of life do I want to grow? This mindset invites you to take full responsibility for your growth, no matter what happens around you. You cannot control the weather, the pests, or the weeds in your garden, just as you cannot control other people's actions or opinions. But you can decide how to respond. You can pull out the weeds of distraction and negativity and enrich the soil of your mind with knowledge and positivity, and consistently nurture the plants that align with your dreams. Minding your own garden means practicing patience too. Growth is rarely instant. Seeds need time beneath the surface before they break through the soil. Your progress might not be visible to others right now, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Keep watering your garden daily. Celebrate the small sprouts, even if the full bloom is months or years away. By focusing on your own garden, you create a life rooted in authenticity and purpose. You stop comparing your beginnings with someone else's middle and instead honor the unique pace and beauty of your own journey. The energy you save by not looking sideways is the energy you use to thrive. Remember, when you mind your own garden, you grow in peace, strength, and resilience. And your garden will eventually bloom so brightly that it becomes a source of inspiration to others. Not because you competed with them, but because you nurtured your own path with love and dedication. Number 6, detach from opinions. One of the greatest freedoms you can experience is the ability to detach from the opinions of others. From the moment you start living your own life, people will have thoughts about what you do, how you do it, and who you are. These opinions, whether spoken or silent, can weigh heavily on your mind if you let them. But to protect your focus and peace, you must learn to separate your worth and direction from the judgments of others. Opinions are just that, opinions. They are shaped by someone else's beliefs, fears, and experiences, not by the truth of your journey. Yet many spend precious energy trying to please everyone, to avoid criticism, or to fit into molds that don't suit them. This is a path of suffering, because no matter how much you try, you cannot control what others think. The moment you accept this, you begin to free yourself. Detaching does not mean ignoring feedback or becoming indifferent. It means having the wisdom to choose which voices deserve space in your mind and which do not. Some opinions come from people who genuinely care and want to help you grow. Others come from fear, envy, or misunderstanding. Knowing the difference requires inner clarity and confidence. When you stop letting opinions dictate your actions, you reclaim your power. You start making choices aligned with your values and vision, rather than being pulled in every direction by external pressure. This creates a strong foundation for growth and happiness, because your motivation becomes internal, not dependent on approval. Remember, every great person who changed the world faced criticism and judgment. They succeeded not because everyone agreed with them, but because they stayed true to their purpose despite the noise. When you detach from opinions, you join their ranks. You learn to stand firm, move forward, and build a life only you can build. This freedom to detach is not given, it is earned through self-trust, discipline, and patience. But once you have it, nothing can shake you. Your peace and progress become unstoppable. Number 7. Celebrate small wins. In the pursuit of greatness, it's easy to overlook the small victories, to dismiss them as insignificant compared to the ultimate goals. But the truth is, small wins are the building blocks of every success story. They are the quiet milestones that mark progress, strengthen your confidence, and fuel your motivation to keep going. Learning to celebrate these small victories is a powerful way to stay connected to your journey and honor the effort you put in every day. Each step forward, no matter how small, deserves recognition. It could be waking up early when you wanted to sleep in, completing a task you had been postponing, or simply choosing a positive thought instead of a negative one. These moments are proof that you are moving in the right direction. When you celebrate them, you acknowledge your growth and build momentum. This momentum becomes a force that carries you through challenges and setbacks. Many people wait for big achievements to feel worthy of celebration, but this only creates distance between where they are and where they want to be. Instead, by appreciating small wins, you create a habit of gratitude and positivity that transforms your mindset. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already happening. This shift is essential because success is not a sudden explosion. It is a steady accumulation of small efforts repeated consistently. Celebrating small wins also reinforces your commitment. It reminds you that progress is possible and that you are capable. This encouragement is like watering your roots, helping you stay grounded when the path gets difficult. It teaches patience and self-compassion, showing you that growth is not about perfection, but persistence. Remember, your journey is uniquely yours, and every small step you take is a victory worth honoring. When you celebrate these moments, you fuel your spirit and deepen your connection to your purpose. This simple practice turns your journey into a joyful experience where every day holds the promise of progress and the power to transform your life. As you journey forward, remember this truth above all: the only person you need to focus on is yourself. In a world full of distractions, comparisons, and endless noise, choosing to turn inward is an act of courage and wisdom. Protect your energy fiercely, measure your progress with kindness, and let the success of others inspire rather than intimidate you. Build a strong inner world where peace and strength reside. Tend to your own garden with patience and love, and learn to detach from opinions that do not serve your growth. Celebrate every small win, no matter how humble, for these are the moments that pave the road to greatness. When you commit to focusing on yourself, not others, you reclaim your power and your peace. You step into the driver's seat of your own life, moving forward on your unique path with clarity and purpose. The journey will not always be easy, but it will always